That's not working, is it? There we go. That's my pretty face. Hey there, guys. It's the bear. I'm back for just a minute. I haven't done one of these for a while. So I haven't done one of these for a while either. So it's one of those nights. I want to talk today about something I've been experiencing, especially this winter. I had my eyes open for it for a year or something like that now. But this winter, I kind of start to feel this energy thing, grid, whatever you want to call it, that exists out there. And yeah, um, it came to influation over this winter because I was kind of like, I was not depressed, but it was a dark winter and there was a lot of cold and wet and just slush ice everywhere. And I kind of, it was one of those winters you just want to get past. Not a depression, but I did feel like I was walking around in a fog. Things that I used to enjoy, like training and making food and enjoying go to work. All that was just gone for 3 months from December to March. And yeah, then all of a sudden, it all disappeared. And I mean, like, disappeared in a heartbeat. It was not just the weather, it was my mood, it was everything around me. And it was not only me, I also saw it in other people, even the sheep. So it's not just an awakening thing, it's a thing that exists across the realm. It's what do you want to call them? A universal kind of energy shift. Maybe we feel it more, maybe because we have more attention on it, maybe because we have opened up self up to that possibility. But I do feel it a lot more than I had, for the last 5 years, where I kind of started doing this energy thing. And it all started, some of you have seen my videos, March 18, the night from March 17 to March 18, everything just changed. I mean, like it was like somebody just ripped the cover off me while I was lying in bed. It was that kind of change. I have 3 months where I literally just sat up and pressed the coffee machine and on to work I was. But this one, I woke up and just right away I sat up and I started looking out the window. I had no idea where that urge came from, but I was looking out the window. And there I saw it, the clear sky. I even saw the stars. It was like there was not a cloud in the sky. When I lay to bed, there was a whole cover. In the morning, there was nothing. And the moment I got outside my door, I felt it right away, that something was different. So, yeah, I have wanted to look into that for a while because I know for a fact that I get sick 2 times a year, and it's about the same time every year. More or less, some years more than others. And I think there is some kind of cleansing periods going on. So yeah, this thing made me want to look into that and this renewal of energy. Uh, I did call it the first day of the new year, but I'm not so sure now. I've looked further into it, and it seems like there's a period between years. So as far as I can tell, I've been looking into Norse mythology, and I've looked into the Celtics stories, and I even went to Islam to see what they're saying, and Hinduism. But I'm sure there's a lot more out there that's interesting. But the fact is that all these religions all say the same things, and they have like not a calendar like we do with days and months and stuff like that, but they have a calendar based on seasons, and and that's very interesting. All of them have a calendar based on season, which is fluidic. So it's not like you have a set number of days one year and the other year. So it kind of follows the seasons, and in um, some religions, the seasons even change a bit, or the years change a bit. Take the Hebrews, for example. They have like, I think it's 6 or 9 years on a 7 year cyclus, where they have this 13 month, and yeah, I'm not done looking at that, so I'm not gonna pretend like I'm wise in that area, because I'm not. So, can everybody hear me? All four people. Hey there, Annette. Hey there, Bailey. And Buzz is here. Usual suspects. Yeah. So what I found is interesting is this shift of energy. It's not so much that they lied about our equinox, which they apparently do, because we could see it. Uh, I got a text from Annette telling me that this is the real equinox from the 17th to the 18th, and I got that text after I or on my way to work. So I already felt the shift when she texted me, and it was kind of just, there you go. That explains it. And then I heard what she and Mike talked about on his show, and all of a sudden it kind of makes sense, why I felt like I did. Yeah, I agree with that, Bailey. I don't even think they predicted. I think they're flat out lying to us, but that's just me. Because the best thing you can do if you have this shift in energy that people can count on, and can use, is to tell them it's not real, right? And the best way to do that is just change the date, but you can't change it too much. People get suspicious on the equinox. But if you just change it 2-3 days, then you kind of get what I'm just saying. They're just enough for you to say on the 20th nothing happened. Because I think they say, is it the 20th or the 21st? They say that the real equinox is, and it's just a smoke screen. Because if you think there's an energy shift going on the 20th, you'll sit there and you'll wait until the 20th, and all of a sudden nothing happens, and you say, "Oh, this shit ain't real," Yeah, I had a detox too, especially actually in start of March. I had a big detox, and I didn't know why, because normally when I have a detox is when I start to fast or I start to train real hard. That's where the detoxing occurs. But this time I didn't do shit. I was sitting on my ass getting fat, and all of a sudden I started getting small, what do you call them, pimples and stuff like that, and yeah, I thought that was weird, but then I started looking into other religions, and then I came across Islam, which has the fast called Ramadan, and that fast, listen to this, guys. The Ramadan in the Islam is from the 17th. This year is from the 17th of February until the 18th of March. Yeah, figure that one. And what do we have on February the 17th? That's why the Chinese people say it's New Year's. February 17 is New Year for the Chinese people, and according to Islam, you know, they it starts with they fast up till the New Year, so that's the 18th. So you kind of have this period in between where you have interpretations of what New Year is. But one thing they all agree about, is that it's not January 1st. Okay. So your new year is not January 1st. Your new year is based on a moving system that's not the same every year. So it's pretty hard to convince people of, but it's based on month. And you have 28 days, 28.25, they say, on a moon cyclus, and that just tells me all I need to know. The new year starts. Whether you look at it from the Chinese point of view or the rest of the world point of view, it either starts the 17th of February or the 18th of March. So, knowing that, I started looking at the Zodiacs, because Annette also told me that there was this 13th sign called, what is it, Ophiuchus? Is that correct pronounced? Ophiuchus, I think it's called. And Ophiuchus, maybe even. And that's a 13th sign that apparently, if you believe in that kind of thing, the sun travels through 13 constellation during the year. But for whatever reason, they're not mentioning the 13th one, which is Ophiuchus. And they know it's there because they have a name for it. You even have Neil deGrasse Tyson sitting on public physics forum and announces this. So they're aware of it. They just kind of say that it's not really a horoscope. And here's the funny part. Ophiuchus translate to the, what is it called? The serpent bearer. Get that one right. The serpent bearer. And it kind of determines this needle with the snake around it, yeah, that's I don't know what to think about the Romans. It might I think some down the line they captured all of the stories. The one we are told is bullshit, and the ones we're told is bullshit is the real story. I think everything got mixed up at some point, and all the fairy tales are kind of real, and and history is kind of false, But there's always this middle ground, so you have a little truth in both of them, So it's not like it's a clear-cut case, but I see a lot of similarities. For example, in the Greek mythology to the Norse mythology, which I'm very close to up here in Scandinavia, and there's very similarities. It's nearly the same gods, and it's nearly the same system they live by. But yeah, I think Romans hijacked everything, and I think they hijacked Norse mythology. I think they hijacked the Greeks, the Phoenicians, all of them. The use the Tartarian or whatever you want to call it. I think once upon a time we weren't all that. We were just the same race from different places, And I think they took all of that knowledge and understanding of the universe and made it their own, and they did that with the Roman story. That's kind of how I feel about it, You can see why would you have this system and you call the North mythology for heretics, you know, but you're using their gods as days. It doesn't make sense, you know. You have Tuesdays, or you have Thursdays, you have Fridays, you know. They're all god names in North mythology, you know. So you have a daily system based on the northern gods. So yeah, that's that, you know. And yeah, basically everything we know these days is false. We have to make our own mind. We can't take anything from anywhere and make it fact because there are no facts these days. That's just a fact. There you go. That was a good word to play. Absolutely, baby. Uh, yeah, and then they spend time spreading it up, you know, because if you go back, many of the religions are actually they believe in the same stuff. So if you don't want your religion to be united, you know, you kind of make this story that makes them all argue, you know. So that's kind of what they did. They make this world view that could be that has to fit in to every religion, and if it doesn't, sorry about that, guys. It's been a while since I drank beer. If you have this world religion, which I think it was at some point, maybe not 1,000 years ago, but way down the line, I think we were all in agreement over how this shit should be done. And the best way to infiltrate that is to break it up in pieces and make them fight themselves, you know. So everything is integrated these days, you know. The elite is their names and confusion is their game. That's how that works, you know. Confusion is the best weapon they, they ever had, because many people say it's fear and it's money and it's fiat system. All that is the control, but really, it's the confusion and the chaos that creates the opportunity to control people. What they use to control people, but from that point, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's the opportunity that counts. And when you confuse people, you make people in doubt, then they're easier convinced about a reality that's not real. So uh, that is how I see it, and I really felt that energy shift, and was not just that day. I've had it ever since, and it's been sunny ever since. I had 3 months of clouds, snow, and rain, and now I have 10 days. Now a week. I had a week with sunshine all the time, you know. So definitely something to it. Um, what else do we have? I can show you some of the old calendars. Can I share my screen here real fast? Oh, that's not working. There we go. So this is the, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that, right? This is the Northern mythology's calendar. It's pretty hard to see what's going on here. I just wanted to show you the real one before I show you one where you can see what's going on. So here you can see this one. When I zoom in, does it do it? Oh yeah, it does. Oh my God, that's really clever. I'm like a tech guy until I did that. Okay, so here's the calendar, um, and you can see it's based on seasons, and it's based on 4 seasons, uh, all within the, what do you call them, the summer and winter solstice, and the 2 equinoxes. So it's divided up in 4 quadrants, and those are further divided up. Let's take the I want to say this. You can see here what's happening. You have 21 September, which is called what we call winter period. It's called Jule, and funny enough, Jule in Danish means Christmas. So that's that. And here it says that spring begins February 1st, and spring equinox is there you go. This is not the updated one. The other one says that it's on the 19th. This one says it's on the 21st. This one has been changed, but the original one says it's on the 19th. So yeah, I kind of believe that is the thing that might be where everything starts over, so the year ends on the 18th and everything starts over on the 19th. And 1st of May, the official summer starts, and you have late summers and so forth and so on. Okay, we get the drift. But it's divided. You can see here it's divided in 8 sections. They take those 4 seasons and divide every season in 2 sections. So I want to show you the Celtic one. This is the Celtics. They have another system, but kind of like the same system. It's just predicted differently. And here is something crazy. Again, when I zoom in, you can see this over here. It's on the 19th, not the 20th or the 21st. So Norse mythology, the heretics, the pagans, they all agree that this spring equinox is on the 19th. So there's that. And I think it's funny because they have Yule too. Same shit. But here you have the exact dates, and their Christmas or equinox is on the equinox on the, I think it's 21st, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't counted that. But I just want to show you that whether it's Celtic mythology or Northern mythology, they kind of believe in the same stuff. And you have the star with the 8 points. It's divided in 8 sections. So yeah. Hey there, Dean. Good to see you, man. So yeah, lies upon lies, but I'm here to tell you that there is some kind of energy grid that we don't understand fully. And it seems to operate within the solstice and the equinoxes. So when we know that, we kind of can set our life towards it, and I think you can make your life a shitload easier if you do. That's kind of my predictions. If you know that there is a cleansing period between each equinox, you'll be ready for it, And I think, very interesting, I think the fasting that the Muslims does is maybe what keeps them not sick. So I'm going to look into that, if you should fast for a whole month. It seems really much, but I have done weeks before. But they basically do a month from February 17 to March 18, where they only drink water during the day. No, they don't even drink water, I think. No, they're not allowed to drink water. They neither drink or eat uh, after sunrise. When the sun sets, then they can eat until the sun rises. That's how that works. And there was another thing I found pretty peculiar is that if you follow the Ramadan, the fast they do, then you are on February 17th. You're starting your fast at 5:26, and it ends on 5:25 in the evening. So it's kind of like an equal equinox. So it's I don't know how that works exactly, but it seems like equinox is different when you're uh, on the other side of the ball, if you want. Uh, I haven't I haven't figured that out wholly out yet, but I will. Uh, but apparently, it's been a thing for hundreds of thousands of years in Islam to fast in that month, and yeah, uh, and then I started looking at something funny. If you go back and watch MMA, you will see a trend that many Muslim fighters wins in April. On the April card, you have a lot of Muslim fighters winning right after the Ramadan, sometimes even during the Ramadan. And I kind of have a theory about that being that they have cleaned out, they have used this system, they have used this month to clean out their system. And their counterpart from United States or England or wherever they come from haven't. So they have an advantage physically. But that's, of course, is just a theory. I can never prove that. So, yeah. I'm going to drop the link if anybody want to join. If you have any information that makes me wiser, this is still pretty new to me. I've been aware of it for a while, but I haven't had the time to look into it. Now I am, and if you have any knowledge, please come on stage and educate me, because this is one of those areas where I really like to be educated. I don't know if you know, Bailey, but I fight for a living, and any energy I can pick up along the way would help me out, So anyone can jump on stage. It doesn't have to be of what I've been talking about. It can be anything, but you're allowed to speak your mind here. This is not a place where you hold your tongue. You speak whatever you want. And if we get a strike, so be it. That's just how we operate. So, what am I going to use it for? Well, I'm going to look into fasting. And when I say that, I mean when we come to equinox on the other side of this year, I will do the Ramadan, the fast, and I will see if it changes anything for me. Or you can get this boost anyway, but no matter what, you get a boost, because I got it, but it could be a month. If you fast or you do things right in that month, you might amplify that to a degree, and I really want to look into that. But I have felt mildly fogged. I won't call myself depressed, but I was at that point, And not only that, it was like the universe was throwing shit at me for like 3 months. It was like every time I went out the door, something bad happened. And every time I came home, things were knocked over. And I just hope, that I can equal that out, and that's what I want to look into. uh, I have done quite amount of fasting. The last 3 years, I've done every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, I had 3 days where I did a 16-8 fast, where I only eat 8 hours a day, and I eat minimum calories, and I don't drink sodas and stuff like that. So I have that fast every third week when I'm in a fight camp. Then I do 3 weeks total. 1 week where I just take everything unnecessary out of my diet, and then I do 2 weeks where I'm fasting 16-8. And in those 3 weeks, I'm all carnivore. I only eat meat, eggs, and etc. So, and that's what I feel right now gives me the best energy boost when I'm fighting. And but yeah, this has to be explored. If I can get like 5% more energy in everyday life, and I can cut away some of those on those are really annoying. This microphone has to be in front of my face. Am I really that unattractive? uh, all right, so that is my rant today. I think not only at this point we need to be looking into this stuff. I also think we need to be looking in to other things that kind of works on these seasonal behaviors. I'm definitely gonna be a little more open to I almost called it sign language there, but it's not. Astrology. A thing I never paid attention to. I must admit, it's not my thing, and I always believe that looking to the stars was a sure way to fall on your face and hit your nose on the asphalt. But but I have to look into that too, and yeah, I have to find somebody that's knowledgeable in that, because I'm not gonna waste time watching online, reading the narratives and all that, because, well, I just told you I think it's all bullshit. Yep, we've been talking about the 13-month calendar. I think the 13-month calendar starts at either February 17th or March 18th, and then you have this perfect calendar where you're following the moon phases, and you have this month a year where you recuperate. And I don't remember what they called the 13th month, but what was it called? But it also makes sense when you look at the other months, because if you start in January, then you have September, October, November, December being all wrong. That's a fact. You follow the moon phases. Yeah, I want to start doing that too, because apparently you can use this for shit, So, but if you look at the names of these months, they don't make sense. And I said this 10 years ago. I said, why are they called this? Because in Latin they mean something different. They're numbers. September Sep means seven, and October, octo, means eight, and November, nove, means nine, and des means 10. So that's December. So it's pretty clearly to see that September is not the ninth month, it's the seventh month. October is not the 10th month, it's the eighth month, and vice versa, So if you look at it that way, then December is the 10th month, and that will make March the 13th month. So the 13th month is from 17th this year, 17th of February until the 18th of March, and that's the month that the Muslims fast in, So they kind of know, and if you look at the Chinese New Year, they kind of know too, because that's the 17th of February. So it seems like all the magic happens within those 30 days right there, that moon cycles. What I don't know is whether it works on the other side as well, whether you have a cleansing period on the other equinox, So I definitely have to work into that. Let's see, let me pull this up again. There we go. So if you see this, that would end September 20th. September 20th, that is the period where the 13 days from August to September. I'm going to explore that next time we get around to that point right there. And the funny part is that you have Christmas right there on after that equinox, where everything changes too, So I kind of think that's funny too. They kind of, if they're lying about that too, that equinox, they could. Let's see, 2. Oh yeah, that's the 19th. Isn't that supposed to be the 21st? I think that's what they're telling us, isn't it? Our normal equinox is. And on this calendar, it's on the 19th. So they're kind of lying about that too, which makes everything, look like their at Christmas is kind of a cover up, right? And celebration. So you kind of have this celebration around these periods too, it's a little right after this equinox, kind of in a week or so, you have Easter, and after the winter equinox, you have Christmas. In our country, in the summer solstice, we have something called Sankt, where we make a big fire and we burn all the exterior wood, and we burn the witches and send them off to an island north of Denmark called Bloksbjerg. So that's kind of interesting that we have these ceremonies right after these solstice and equinoxes. And we have these ceremonies on the wrong days, apparently. So I don't know when all that changed, but it definitely changed the calendar. And why wouldn't you have a calendar based on the moon phases? Why not? It's so simple. You have 28 days in every month, and every week starts with a Sunday, and everything is just so easier, to comprehend and use in everyday life. So yet again, they complicated things and confused us, and that's the control they're using. And if you look at it, you also have another thing is that they kind of changing the time too by doing this, because I don't know exactly how it works yet. I will find out. But if you do the moon calendar, you have 364 days in a year. And if you do the normal calendar, you have 365, and in some years you have 366. So there are definitely a day they're not telling us about, That's special. One of these days, the 365 days is special, and they've done everything in their power in order to cover it up. And yes, Ophiuchus is the 13th zodiac sign, which means the serpent bearer. Well, right up there leads early, So now we know who they worship. And if they push it in, like they say, within late November and start December, that changes my sign. I won't. I'm a Virgo as it is, but if they push it in right there, then I would be a Leo. So now I'm a Lion. Whoa, there we go. That was an upgrade for me. You see, I went from a Virgin to a Lion in like 2 minutes when I discovered that. That was pretty cool. But I'm not sure that that's what they say. They say they put it in there. But I have a feeling that serpent bearer, which they say stands for healing, very well could be that extra month between February 17 and March 18, because they do say that it stands for healing and prosperity and stuff like that. I don't know if they're lying about that too, but if it's real, then it makes sense. But what I was feeling, it was a healing period. Oh yeah, well, it makes sense then. Cat in the birdcage. Makes definitely sense. I have a lot of ego. So, but it's not a problem for me anymore. It used to be. So, yeah, good thing I didn't look into all this astrology before I found out that they messed up that too. And I can't stop thinking about, do the astrologers know this? And do their own thing, or have they been lulled to sleep and are doing everything wrong as well? So that might be the secret between a good astrologist and a bad one. And the bad one doesn't know he's been fooled. So this mic is very annoying. I have to do something about this angle. It's very bad. I'll do like that. Then it's better for a second. Yeah. As I said, I haven't been doing a live for a while, so this is not something you should get used to. I will do one in a while when I have something to say like this. When I stumble across something I think is interesting, I'll do a live about it. But this is kind of it, and I know some of you have requested to get the show back, and I'm just saying I'm not in that mindset yet. You know, I want to do something else with my life, and yeah, I'm not the guy that bangs my head against the truth no more. So I kind of know what's up now, and I just want to use that knowledge to some good. And I do more damage out there than I do in here. Because when I'm in here, I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody here knows what's up. Yep. Been looking into the emerald tablets as well. There's a lot to uncover. So, but yeah, I'll pop up once in a while when I have something to say like this. And if I get more information, I'll put a video or two out there too about this subject. But right now, it's all pretty new to me. But I have felt enough energy-wise that it's a thing, and I need to explore it. And I'll definitely share my notes with you when I get some results for sure. Especially on the fasting thing. And apparently, I've spoke to some Muslims, and apparently it doesn't work if you don't do 30 days. Maybe somebody told them that, but I don't know. Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about, Bailey. It's all about exploring. As I said, these days you can't count on any information you get from anywhere. So if you want to have some kind of idea of what's right and wrong, you have to test it out yourself. You can't trust anybody these days. Even people that seem very trustworthy, even people you trust in real life, you would trust them with your life, but you can't trust them with the information they got from somewhere else. So that's just a fact. So if you want some honesty, some reality check in life, you have to go out and do it yourself. You can't count on anybody doing it for you, because they will lie to you, or somebody lied to them and they're just passing on the knowledge. You don't know. So this is kind of what I had to say today. I want to keep it within the hour, unless somebody's jumping on the bandwagon. I'll cut it short. But to sum up what I've been saying is that it's not about the lie. It's not about the lost calendar, which would be nice to know how that used to work, but it's not about that. It's about they are hiding energy levels, energy shifts that occurs on this planet, whatever you want to call it, universe, realm. There are an energy grid of some kind, and I think the big cover up is that if you see this as it is, you will see that it's clockwork. And clockwork screams creation, and they can't have that. I think that's the bottom line. I don't think it's anything bigger than that, because I think they have the population within their hollow hand by now, so they can tell them anything. But if people start to see a machine, a creation, then people will start looking for a creator, and I will, for one. So I guess this is it for me today. It was nice to have you all. Should I? We just uploaded a new song, so that's on the Bassicino and the Bear channel. Yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you got something out of it, and if not, I did just by airing it, So I'll jump out and get some sleep. So I'll see you all on the flip side. Peace. There you go. That's the song we did a while ago, and we made it a trip to California just for that, just pissing people off, everything else.
After they passed, you don't even know where to begin. You feel a great hole reaching down to your soul. Tears of sorrow feels like you're drowning. So reminisce every tender kiss, every hug, every joke, every laugh. For in memory is the special key to knowing they're beside you on the path. Hold your head up for those that have gone. Celebrate their lives with a smile and a song. They wouldn't want you crying for too long or wallow in sorrow. They tell you it's wrong. So reminisce every tender kiss, every hug, every joke, every laugh. For in memory is the special key to know when they're beside you. So reminisce every tender kiss, every hug, every joke, every laugh. For in memory is the special key to knowing they're beside you on the path. The love you shared is still connecting. You can feel them, just not physically. You know in your heart they are still taking part and would want you to be truly happy. So reminisce every tender kiss, every hug, every joke, every laugh. For in memory is the special key to know when they're beside you on the path.